first, let's get into the Inside Star Citizen review, shall we? Let's do it. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Inside Star Citizen review, the strongest, longest-lasting review show on the internet involving Star Citizen development, where we talk about the issues of Star Citizen and its development and have a really fun time doing it. Try and get here live. If you're on YouTube, please press the like button. Let's check out what Jared is up to right now.
Last week was our inaugural Idris War Games test, and while that completed earlier this week with many lessons learned, and the ship itself is still awaiting important resource management, maelstrom, multi-crew gameplay work, and more before it'll arrive permanently in the persistent universe, we here at ISC still jumped at the chance to showcase the current artistic progress of the vehicle inside and out, as well as to enlist a few of our oldest friends in providing a sort of director's commentary to the proceedings. Here's how it went.
Just a bit of the cameras. Hi, I'm John Crook. I'm Nick Tearsley, part of the art director of 2042 era.
Your new title.
I don't even know what I am anymore. Shall I say that? Shall I say that? That'd be good.
Yeah?
Yeah. Hi, I'm Nate. I've not got a clue what I am anymore.
He's the one.
That'll go down
the one beef of the
Should we
week.
do that? Yeah.
Get it
Some
in
days I'm this, other days I'm that.
Tidal waves rippling through after people have been either getting laid off or quitting. Of course, we talked about Pappy last week. I'm detecting a lot of stress, man. Like, first off, I'm just gonna say I'm detecting a lot of stress at this point of development, and I think that's normal. I think we're at a very critical moment in development, and I think there's a lot of people just blowing off tons of steam. And venting, and that goes with Star Citizen content creators. I think that also goes with the employees. It's a really interesting time. To me, I find it fascinating. I find this, to me, this is the highest level of entertainment when it comes to development. I love this shit. I love it.
What do you want to be today, Nate?
I don't know what I want to be today. What should I be today? Yeah, I was the art director for the thing. There you go.
Do you want me to go first?
You can be my bloody guest, mate.
Okay.
Yeah, everything's changing around. It's a logistical nightmare. Absolutely. That's exactly what's happening. That's exactly what's happening, Seamus. You're right on the money with that, bro. And that can be misconstrued by a lot of content creators. You know, that can be misconstrued about, like they a lot of content creators are trying to focus on the target being that, now everything's terrible, and, they put a negative slant on things. And that's not true. It's just what it is it's real life, man. It's real life. It's just real life. And people and their livelihoods and their jobs and their income. And, it goes another level deeper than what Star Citizen content creators are telling you right now. It's crazy.
Hi, my name's John Crew. I'm the vehicle art director.
What's up,
Hi,
Hugh?
my name's Nate.
Your sound effects should be ready tomorrow, bro.
Art director.
We've been asked today to give you a little director's commentary over the Idris that you will have seen being fought over recently.
They are. How you doing, Matt? Good to see you, buddy. Woo! Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Now that's funny. That was funny.
Right, so the exterior, this has had quite a few iterations over time in terms of not the shape. The shape stayed the same, but
absolutely,
how, like, the
absolutely, dude.
The materials on it.
Yeah,
the engine the thrusters of.
Yeah, the shapes remain pretty true. We did make amendments to the exterior to fit the interior in because the number of spaces that we needed for Squadron sort of slowly increased. So it's a very tightly packed.
And what we hear in that comment from crew is basically we're getting close to Squadron 42 being completed. This is, there's still a lot of road in terms of the PU and the live, but when it comes to Squadron 42, we're getting towards like the end of the road, and they want to finalize a lot of these things so they can claim that revenue. They need to bring in that revenue from Squadron 42, man. Hopefully it'll be successful. I think it will. I think it'll bring in quite a pretty penny for him. But this is where we're at right now. Chris is like Squadron 42, man. Squadron 42. That's the stage they're at. They've been on the stage for a little well over a year and a half beating that drum. Squadron 42. Squadron 42 first. It's really the way things should be layered and leveled in terms of the development. It makes a lot of sense. Bringing in more revenue and cash to continue the development on the MMO.
Capital ship.
If you look at the original concept, it was quite a thin ship as well.
Yeah.
It just couldn't fit everything in it.
I think my favourite feature from the original one was the hilarious flight of stairs that came down in the middle of the flight deck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was my first fix.
So we're going to fly into the back of it, which is the way most players should normally enter the Idris.
Landing gear deployed.
Nice.
Landing complete.
You can go in the front, but that'll be a bit...
It's getting dark now, John.
So there we go.
Absolutely, Hugh. Absolutely. Lots of temperaments with master modes. Like lots of people flying off the handle right now, man. Just being an
In
adult.
Squadron, there is space for 2 Gladiuses, Gladii, and there's a space for the Argo and PV at the back, but you can technically
Ooh, look
fit
at
3
that, man. That's
ships
so
in here.
nice.
Yeah, when you first land, you'll sort of notice that the exits for the hangar are generally sort of at a lower level. One of the things we do a lot of throughout the ship actually is just slight changes in elevation, even though you're on the same deck. And the general layout is fairly symmetrical, I would say. The ship, when it was first put together, was really sort of, I would say, designed from the inside out. So there was a lot of amendments on the exterior to make the interior, interior to me is always king. You spend a lot longer on the interior of the ship. So we sculpted the exterior skin around that. If you were to hide that exterior, I mean, there is no breathing room. It is like a bit of an engineering masterpiece, to be honest.
It really is. Not enough credits due to this design team, man.
Hangs from the ceiling.
A lot of work here.
A
lot of work.
Many people accidentally fall out the bottom of the Idris in atmosphere out that hole. So don't do that.
Or if you want to recreate the alien dropship scene, it's pretty cool.
Bravo. Bravo. Bravo.
The gravity room was originally upstairs. We had to shift things around through the process again, taking inspiration from, real-world scientific areas. That whole room actually closes into its own cylinder. You have to sort of open the door to sort of get in, and you can close it behind you. It's quite a trip. And for all intents and purposes, unless you're going to your bunk or you're going to very specific areas like the briefing room or the gravity room, which you've just seen there are no dead ends. It was put together when I was on the ship and originally sort of designed it. It was very much sort of focused around multiplayer combat at the time, and a good multiplayer map is you've always got options. You've always got at least 2 options at every corridor, every room.
You're constantly flowing around it.
No dead end. So as you can see.
I actually had a bug this morning come through about the writing on the wall being shorthand.
Oh dear.
So it's spelt incorrectly.
Oh.
I was like, no, it's not. It's an intentional choice.
Yeah.
So
shit they gotta deal with, man. The funny thing about this is there were many people that started this project in terms of the Idris design and left, and the ship's still done. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's important to breathe and understand. Pappy and others, Trufin, so many others have, there are people that aren't here anymore, but the project continues forward. I think that's the thing to really keep in mind. things will get done regardless. It continues. It continues on. It's a life of its own. It has a life of its own. These things will get done. People will leave. People will quit. People will get fired, right? And yet things will continue to move forward, as in most businesses. And I really don't think I hear that voice at all when it comes to the content creators out there, because everybody's so angry. Everybody's like, everybody wants to jump on everything and make it clickbait for you guys. You know, like, no, like this is a big deal and that's a big deal and this is a big deal. And oh my God, the sky's falling type shit. You know what I mean? Because that gets them the views. That gets them monetization. Nobody wants to hear what I have to say. No, but that's, you know, like one of the reasons I haven't blown up is just like nobody wants to hear like a rational point of view. Everybody wants to hear the bad news, right? Well, here's the actual news. The actual news is I'm sure many people left, quit, fired, whatever. And guess what? Idris still here. Idris still here. And this is in other areas of development and design in Cloud Imperium. People will leave. People will get fired. People will quit, right? And still things move forward and get done. But nobody wants to hear that. That doesn't get the clicks or the views. I'm not going to be the dude that's going to like, you know.
We got the ATC room.
I'm just not built that way.
Which is obviously very useful for being an ATC. We'll come back later to the other side to see what's in there. There's a lot of decks to the Idris.
Yeah, there's the subdeck in the Argo, which
can you believe that, Orson?
Or the utility vehicle, I should call it.
This guy right here.
You've got your main deck. This is the sort of the main.
How you doing, Orson? Good to see you, buddy.
The heart, I would say, the centre of that sort of floor plan is all of the, I would say, business side of the room. So obviously you've got your mess hall here.
Very Halo vibes. Halo vibes on that. Halo vibes on that.
I hear roast lamb is still on special.
Yeah.
That's an inside joke, by the way. Sleeping quarters.
This is for your general crew for the ship. The bunks have shutters on them for a bit more privacy.
With inbuilt home entertainment system.
So this is 2 mirrored, I guess, solo cabins. The pilots get their own little area at the end.
Which are about to get a little bit bigger, but you didn't hear that from me.
So the version that you're seeing here is taken from a point in time on Squadron recently, but there are lots of little tweaks that we'll talk about in the future to deliver more of the Idris. One of them, the missile room, is a big one that's still to come that is not available here at this time.
What's up, Austin?
Like lots of other little tweaks as we get closer to shipping Squadron that we'll be making.
Again, inspirations with regards to archetype for Aegis. You can see there's a strong inspiration from some of my favourite 1980s movies through here. I like to see material breakup, introduce
Good to see you, Lost Soul.
Leather where we can do to make it feel a bit softer and more inviting, as a good habitational area should be. And it's different for different ships, right? But when you're designing a capital
What's up,
ship,
Chaos? Good to see you, buddy.
Tick all of the boxes. From a putting the ship together point of view, everything is modular. So you'll notice probably in the PU now, a lot of these elements are reused in some of the Aegis ships, simply because, we try and put the ships together in a modular fashion. And the bigger the ship gets, the more modular it needs to be. You really want to avoid doing too much unique stuff because it will hammer your video memory.
Totally awesome in thinking that.
Because
I mean, that is a very good point here with the ship design team, is like, you got to be careful with ships this massive, not to put too many object containers in, man. Like, I like that. I like that. It still has detail, but I understand that, totally get that element of ship design when you're talking about these massive ships, man. I love it. I love to hear that.
I'd say it's the first capital ship we've done. It is the first, isn't it? Yeah. And it was
What's up, Damon?
Genesis of this was put into production actually around the same time as the Retaliator, many years ago, and it was at that time that we started to establish a really good understanding of how we want habitational areas to feel and look, feeling being a prominent feature. Engineering, again, completely different. You got the technology side of it and the medical side of it. So they became the sort of like 4 style guides, I would say, that became the springboard for a lot of the other ships to sort of follow on from.
Yeah, you see a lot of similar stuff in the Hammerhead, which actually uses a lot of the Idris kit
What's up,
well.
Wooksy?
And different areas have their different technical feeling.
You'll notice here when you come in through the centre of the med bay, for example, there are very, very, very little right angles. When you look at the floor plan, for example, it generally dollies off at 45-degree angles or 60-degree angles. I don't like right angles in floor plans. Things need to flow. As you can see there, you're going to get a right angle when you come out of a door that's not 100 degree above angle. But yeah, it's all into.
Appreciate that, bro. Oh, what's you gifted him? Thank you, Wooksy. Appreciate that, Wooksy. Wooksy gifting Seamus. That was nice.
You'll notice there's lots of windows that look outside.
Thank you, Aether. Appreciate you, bro.
There's lots of windows that look back into the hangar.
I know. How many of you guys have Idris in here? Put a 1 if you're an Idris owner.
We're at the front of the ship now. So this is the manned turret at the front, the big one.
Oh, look at you.
And then lots of escape pods here for everyone that's in the sort of upper front half of things.
Thank you, Coob. Appreciate you, buddy. Where's my Coob, bud? Coob. It's been a while since I pushed that one, dude.
Go sideways and you need to get off the ship. So going back down starboard side, have to do the bath sim head of port and starboard.
Yeah, interesting you mentioned that, John, because navigation has been a little bit of an issue. So these corridors that you're running around at the moment, they're going to have a lot more injection of colour in the future. So you'll have a much better understanding of whether you're going forwards or backwards or whether you're on the left or the right. Worth noting as well, like all the spaces that you're seeing are completely undressed. There are, tens of thousands of entities that end up on top of what you're seeing for Squadron because it needs to feel more lived in, it needs to tell that story. So it's kind of bare bones seeing it this way, which is kind of strange for me at the moment.
Yeah, it was very strange when we were getting this ready for the PU to take off all those layers and sort of see it in a state that we've not seen.
Plus also we're not seeing it with NPCs. Yeah. When you see this with NPCs and, people walking around carrying out their duties, engineers doing their things at panels or whatnot, it feels lived in, it feels alive. But, hopefully when it goes into the PU, there'll be plenty of people running around anyway, which will make it feel very similar for you guys.
Hamster balls.
You want to get buff? Go to the gym.
I don't know what we had there originally, opposite the ATC. Was it? It was the pilot?
It was the pilot ready area, but we moved the pilot ready area down to the same level as the hangar so you can get your gear, scramble out as quickly as possible rather than getting your gear,
run down a flight of stairs,
falling down 2 flights of stairs, and then sort of hobbling into your ship with a broken ankle.
Dude, you can make a total BSG machinima out of this, man. Like, if you were an Idris owner, could you imagine what Nate would do from Elite Expeditionary from EE Studios, dude, with this? And Ava and Overclocked, man. You could make a whole Starbuck thing going on here with the little sliders on the bunk beds. Be cool.
Then going further back.
Yeah, that's cool, Hugh. That's cool, buddy.
Halfway, 3/4 of the way back.
Yeah, you got your sort of, I think,
the crossover point here.
Yeah, you got 2 crossover points on the hangar.
Very cool. I love the crossover.
Sort of come through, and this is where a lot of the asymmetry comes in. Although the footprint is sort of similar, you'll come through.
Right.
On one side, you've got Brig, which is where all the naughty people go, and we have a lot of naughty people in the game. There's a security office in there, and on the opposite side of that is, basically the opposite side of the ship, is the armory, which you'll see in a little bit.
Big escape pods, so big shared ones rather than individual pods. You might have seen, as we've gone around, some big red signposted rooms. They, I believe, have EVA airlocks in them as well as sort of maintenance storage areas, so all signposted so you know in a hurry where to go. And then the main briefing room.
The briefing room.
Again, integral to Squadron. This is where you're going to get your mission briefings.
Awesome. Oh my God, that's so fucking Wing Commander right there. Get out of town, man. The briefing room, man. Get out of town, dude. That is so classic Wing Commander right there. Dude, oh my God, get out of town.
It's a big ship.
Yep.
Oh my God, dude.
I say there's a
dude, imagine the fun. Imagine the fun, man. I'm still excited. I'm still like a kid in a candy store with this game. As long as the time has been since that initial vibe, man, I still feel it. I don't know why people still don't. Like, I know it's been a long time, but damn it, if I don't still feel the feels from this. I think you're dead inside if you don't feel the feels from this. I don't know. I don't know how you don't feel the feels, man. Like I don't get that.
It's a big ship.
Right.
Yep.
It's
There's
awesome.
a lot to it.
Having your own crew, having an Idris and a crew every night, logging in with friends on the Idris with an idea, with plans, with a ranking system. People take it semi-seriously and they're filling out their roles on the Idris, man. Come on. I mean, that's exciting to me.
Crammed in.
Yeah.
So now we're in the opposite side to where the brig was. So this is the armory and shooting range.
Quite a bit of inspiration from RoboCop. Yeah, as you can probably all tell, I'm a bit of an 80s buff when it comes to the movies. When I had to do things for real, actually build things, it visually makes quite a big difference to me.
We need these in hangars. I want shooting ranges. You know, when hangars are flushed out to the point where permanence is actually in the game and we don't get the wipes, right? That dream. I also want a shooting range with every hangar. I think that must be that has to be a must get.
As a visual kind of guy.
That firing range area is another one of the areas that has changed around a bit over time.
What's up, DY? Good to see you, man.
It was an all-in-one.
I think it was on the other side as well.
Yeah.
I think we flipped it. And then we got into the logistics of, you know, what happens if you take your gun away from there? What's going to happen to you as a player? So there was, you know, 'cause you're not supposed to walk around a military ship with a firearm in your hand, basically. So, yeah, lots of minor changes there, more for the social experience.
So this is above the rear of the hangar, not all the way at the back, because it has two lifts that go down to, or one lift that goes down to the... Two?
Yeah,
one each side.
There's one each side that connects with the hangar, so if you're bringing in supplies...
Du hast mich gefragt. Du hast mich gefragt. Und ich hab nicht gesagt.
Or getting ready to go out on a long journey.
Oh,
into
I'm
the
sorry,
depths of
muted.
space.
Damn it, Pepe.
You know,
I said
utility
thank you, let's go. I love the
drops so
polka,
you
thank
can't
you.
go off and you can load up pretty efficiently.
It makes me happy.
Decontamination area before you get into what would be the engine room.
Very different feeling, like we talked about, compared to the rest of the ship.
Yeah, it's the thing with Aegis, we sort of looked at a lot of real-world scientific, I would say, you know, hydrogen colliders, nuclear reactors. CERN was a big sort of inspiration with a lot of the paneling and general
This is where you plant the explosives.
That's continued in the Gauntlet and a lot of the other Aegis ships that you'll see.
And then you will have seen them dotted around in all the corridors, but there's a lot of wall panels that hold all the components. So whilst we do have some big capital size components like in the engine room, there's a lot of, sort of secondary redundancy with all these extra.
Mad style. There's a death hole, bro.
Wall panels dotted around, so if one area of the ship goes down, it's not completely scuppered. You can still route power around.
Yeah, it's the interesting thing in the original design document, John, where if life support systems went down on the rear of the ship, there's actually sort of like large bulkheads that close that section of the ship off, so the rest of the ship can survive. So again, you know, thinking about sort of multiplayer aspect, if you were to try and ambush one of these things, I think there's going to be quite a lot of fun to be had.
Yeah, those bulkheads, I think you probably will have seen some of them in the corridors as we watch big yellowy orange.
Yellowy orange, okay.
Oh man, this is going to be so much fun.
As well, the engine room, you'll notice, is pretty much, if you were boarding the ship from the hangar,
this is massive.
Pretty much the most well-protected room of the ship. Again, with that multiplayer feeling in mind. I think going off, do you remember Titan mode? Squadron, not Squadron, Battlefield.
Yeah.
really just trying to create this sort of layer up on layer up on layer until you get to the engine room to make that quite difficult to ultimately disable the ship.
Like we talked about, there's a lot of flow in the interior, but there are those areas that have very distinct choke points to get to. Like the bridge is one, whilst there is multiple ways to get there, they're quite well defendable, and then the engine room is the other. So those are two.
I'm super excited.
Areas you really don't want people get into uninvited.
Yeah.
What's up, Sketch? Good to see you, buddy. Welcome home, man. Welcome home. I'm really excited about this.
Up to the bridge. There's obviously this lift, but there is also a set of staircases either side. So you have these sort of tactical stations at the back, flanking each side, down on a lower level from the main bridge area.
I think I would say most proud of on the bridge.
I was watching a little bit of a video that Ash has. We'll watch it a little bit later. One of our mods here. I love Ash, and he was flying with Ark and his organization, and they were in the Idris. He was in the aft gun, and they were just having a blast. Maybe we'll play it at the after party, and just to be like on the bridge, and the view, the feels, man. It's blowing me away.
There's been a lot of rework done, but you'll notice here the view out. It's pretty spectacular. Removed what would be, the cross frame, which went across the front of the ship, so you got completely unobstructed views out to space. But it still feels chunky and weighty, which it needs to, which is a success.
Highly recommend. Also, we have an Idris a leak video on the channel. Highly recommend you go to DG360, check that out, of a boarding party that gets on an Idris while devs were flying it. Really fun video. Really fun. I think we were the first to break that.
So that was a little bit of a director's commentary on the Idris, which hopefully you'll have seen and experienced as part of the event that's been going on in the Persistent Universe recently. And as great as the ship looks in the video and the events, there's still quite a bit of work to do before we can.
Listen, there's always a lot of work to do. I'm gonna be like, listen, these guys are exhausted. These dudes are exhausted, man. They deserve some applause, because really, at the end of the day, it's got to be tough with all the criticisms and all the people, like, just, when it comes to it, these human beings trying to do a job, get this shit done for people. And I respect the fact that they stuck to their guns and they got this to the masses here soon.
Give it to players to have for real. Things like resource network, multi-crew gameplay, all these things that make it an actual living, breathing capital ship that you want to run and own. That's pretty much it for now.
Yeah, to echo what John said, hope you enjoyed what you saw. Still a ways to go with regards to sort of delivering the ship as a whole for the PU. But I just want to give a shout out to all the teams that have been involved in working on it. The list is endless. Artists, designers, concept artists, lighting crew.
Some who are not with the company anymore, and it's still here in the hands of fans and gamers. That's what I guess I'm trying to say at the end of the day, how I started this. It's like, no matter how much negative hate, clickbaity, troll, where people are monetizing you and telling you everything's bad and the sky is falling, at the end of the day, these are the dudes putting in the work. Some people who are working on it left. Guess what? Still here. It's still here for everyone. So, you might not be happy at the amount of time it took, or the fact that the BMM is still not here. I'd say if constructive criticism, if anything, to speed this up, get more people in this particular department. It's one of the most important departments as it continues to bring in revenue for them. And, maybe better communications with the teams to speed things up a little bit. But other than that, man, these guys are working hard. And there are plenty of people that quit that were working on the Idris probably. There were many people that probably got fired that were in the ship design team. And it's still, this has a life of its own now. This is not the beginning of this project. We're well into halfway through. Things will continue to get done by the people that are putting in the time and the work. The real people, the employees here of Cloud Imperium, regardless of what you hear from Star Citizen content creators telling you how bad everything is. Because that's all I heard from Star Citizen content creators, that 2023 there was going to be no progress, that nothing was going to happen, and somehow things are happening. So like, please keep that in mind. And I would say this, for people that get really frustrated and get way too like so emotionally like negative, like just maybe play another game or go outside for a little bit. Like, you know, it's just going to progress how it's going to progress. Period.
Social design, level design, I mean, it's huge. There is literally hundreds of people involved in delivering such an asset.
How many years have I been talking like this, David?
With the limited time that you get it, that you really enjoy it.
Yeah,
there's a lot of people that thought we weren't even going to get this far, right, Damon? Like, there was a lot of people that thought we were not even going to get this far. And through all the years I've covered Star Citizen, I'm like, just hang in there. Everything's going to be okay. Like, you know, I hope, I can't believe that I'm the actual rational, like, when did I become the rational content creator? What's going on here? Me? How? We are in a messed up world. We are in a messed up world. This tells you the state of the world right now. When I am the rational content creator, something is definitely not right with the world today. If I am the rational content creator, man, what happened? How did the time go by so fast, and how did I become the rational content creator? Chaos says, whoa, Grumpy might not consider you rational. I heard that Grumpy got very upset with me, and I find it funny. I didn't even look at like the response yet. Maybe we'll do that tonight at the after party, but I said nothing personal against Grumpy other than the fact that, oh, he quit Star Citizen and he's back again, which every other person does anyway, and I did it as a joke. So if he took things like so personal, Chaos, like, wow, that's just crazy, dude. That's so crazy that people take things so personally. I didn't even say anything bad against the dude, man. I heard he went off, at least from fans, both his fans and my fans. I don't know. I don't even know if that's worth a watch or not. I don't get that dramatic. You know what I'm saying?
I'd be surprised if there's people at the company that haven't touched it in some way or form over the years. It's such a big part of the experience.
Wait. He went off for 2 hours? Come on, because I disagreed with his opinions, huh? And he took it personal. Oh, shameful. Hold on, let me push the shame bell here. Hold on a second. See, like, it's not even worth me to watch it, dude. Like,
shame.
It's not even that big of a deal to me, man. It's crazy.
Shame.
Oh my God.
So what we learned this week?
He said I was bullying him. Oh my God. Are you kidding me? Wow. Maybe we should watch this.
Well, we learned that the Idris is a delight to behold inside and out. That
There's so many things we have to watch tonight, too.
From years of iteration in Squadron 42. That
2
there's still
hours.
lots to be done beyond the currently fantastic art
Terrible.
to bring the gameplay to it that it and its owners deserve. And that when all that is said and done, this is going to be one heck of an addition to the persistent universe. For Inside Jared Huckabee. oh no. Is Idris the ship you've been looking for? For Inside Star Citizen, I'm Jared Huckabee. Thanks for letting us share the process of game development with you, and we'll see you all here next week.
I feel like I should get an achievement
Some
for
weeks
that.
you have it. Some weeks you don't.
All right, well, here we go. Are they going to do a little thing on the end here? Oh, yeah, Dune 2, dude. Dune 2.
Stupid.
Listen, looking forward to that, seriously. Also, Shogun, awesome. Check out Shogun. I was digging on Shogun, except Hulu kept dropping it. I was so upset. It like it was malfunctioning. I think so many people were streaming at the same time. But man, Shogun is awesome. Can't wait for Dune, second part of Dune. Ooh, man, can't wait. Anyway, good one tonight. I hope I was a little bit rational for people to calm people down, because tensions seem to be very high with some more than others. Always fun here, though. So if you're still here and you're watching on YouTube, try and get here live with these amazing people. We are calling a winner tonight. I cannot wait. We'll be spinning that wheel very shortly as we go into our after party. And thanks. Push the like button, subscribe if you're watching on YouTube, and try and get here live with these amazing people. Let's get back to